Hey man, you want to fix your marriage? You've come to the right place. We're going to talk about the 3 things that you can do this week to reignite the intimacy and connection within your marriage in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Here's the 3 things. It's going to sound super simple, but you're going to want to stay locked in for the entire video to make sure that you understand the depth of what I explain. The first thing is the past. The second thing is the present. The third thing is the future. Now, I kept it purposely vague to fuck with you a little bit, but let's talk about those 3 categories, what you can be doing on a daily basis to address them so that your marriage can come back to life. First, we're going to talk about the past, because if your marriage right now is in a spot that you're watching me on the internet, that means you probably have some things that you've gone through, some things that didn't go well. Maybe you've made some mistakes. Maybe you were imperfect and made some poor choices. What I need you to do is go back into that past, look at the timeline of your marriage, and take ownership for anything that you have done that has caused harm to the relationship. I don't care if it was 8 years ago. I don't care if it was 8 months ago. I don't care if it was 8 days ago. A pretty good chance that you've made some mistakes along the way, right? If you've contributed to the pain of the relationship that currently is not doing so great, then you need to speak about that. I've made videos about this in the past, how to properly apologize. You need to first take ownership and say, I did this thing, but also articulate how it caused pain and what you plan to do moving forward so that you don't cause said pain again. You can't just go back to that moment and say, well, that's my bad. That's not enough. You need to say, this thing happened. I know it caused you this level of pain, and here's what I'm going to do moving forward so that I know that it won't happen again. So that's the first thing. You need to address the past. You can't ignore it. You can't wait until it is no longer a problem, because the longer you wait to address the thing, the longer it will be an elephant in the rooms in which you inhabit with your wife. So the past needs to be addressed. That's bucket number 1. Bucket number 2, let's skip into the future. Speaking of that plan to not cause pain any longer. If you want to reshape your marriage, you need to reshape yourself. And by reshaping yourself, we need to have habitual actions in place that are going to turn you into a different man. Not because you're not good enough right now, but because the guy that caused harm, that created wreckage, that did some stuff they're not fond of, if you keep showing up as that guy, you will keep creating that type of mess. So if you want to create something magical, fantastic, something way better than what the past of your relationship represents, you need to be a different person that's plugging into the relationship. That might mean different gym routine, different personal care routines, meditation, things of that nature. That might mean learning a little bit more about how to navigate a relationship, putting things in place that will allow you to grow as a human being. It's not because we're shaming ourselves and making ourselves feel like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit, I need to be different. No, that's not the game we're playing. The game we are playing is I understand and recognize that I'm an imperfect human being and I have some gaps. I have some things I could learn. And now I plan to execute on those gaps and make sure that I'm getting better with every moment that I breathe. That is the energy we're pouring into how do we build the future. That has to be a plan, that has to be specific, that has to be communicated so that she can see the vision and why it would be worth staying around in this relationship. So that's bucket number 2, your future. You need to plan it, you need to execute on it. Bucket number 3, the present. What do you do in the present? You need to offer her vulnerability. Connection is built through 2 things. It is built through trust. Trust comes from owning the past and building a consistent future. Presently, vulnerability is needed. If you're playing the cards close to the chest, if you're acting like everything is fine when you are dying inside, she is not going to feel connected to you. Vulnerability is a must. Vulnerability doesn't have to be this mushy, I'm going to share my life story, all my fears, all my hopes, all my dreams. It doesn't have to be that. Can it be that? Sure, but vulnerability is simply letting her in. If she asks you how your day at work was, talk about it. If she asks you how you're doing, instead of just regurgitating, I'm fine, how are you actually doing? Share that with her. Don't assume that it's a burden because she wants to take care of you. Give her vulnerability while you're also building trust. That is what maximizes the ability to reconnect over time. So if you fast forward to the end of the video and you're like, what the hell did this guy say? Here it is, very simply. You need to take ownership for the past. You need to get very clear on the vision of who you want to become for the future and execute on it. In the present moment, be vulnerable, be awkward, be clunky, but show up and give and pour into that woman and into your relationship. You don't get to have a new relationship by repeating the same stuff over and over again. You have to be hyper intentional about navigating things differently. And that usually comes with some ownership, with some new habits that are going to allow you to become a new person, and with cracking open your heart a little bit and offering that to her. If you can be intentional about that stuff for like a month, Your marriage will look worlds different, but you have to be willing to put in that level of time and effort. I can't do it for you. And if you need more encouragements and tools to help you build the marriage that you actually want, then make sure you subscribe, because that's what we do here. All right?